Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Happy Saturday to you. And I am so sorry I came on late today, but you know how you just didn't know how tired you really were until you actually got that real good sleep? Kind of like drinking some of that Church Nelly moonshine sleep. That's what happened to me. Veronica, quick, hi. I accidentally clicked on that. Actually, I wanted to scroll, but I did want to say hello. Hey, Lydia Washington, Kathy Gabby, Jan Amore, uh, Joan Garcia, Virginia Cavajo, Susie Q, Annie Bullard, Gwendolyn Daniels. Did I say that already? Angela Simmons, Mary Hiker, Lucy Wynn, Sherry Ware, and Regina Mercedes. By the way, let me see here. Maureen Reed, uh, Vanetta Chapman, uh, Bridget Jean Cross, and Juliet Holder Fowler. Black Queen is here. Um, okay. Elaine Park is here. Don J, hi. Anyway, I'm going to scroll. Hi, Brenda Phillips, all the way down to the absolute last, just making sure I didn't miss any super chats or super thanks. I don't think I have. So, all right, there we go. So, last in is Teresa Williams. Hi, Teresa. Oh, no, Jan Martin. There you go. Hi. Okay, so, Sherry Ware wants to say hi to a bunch of people. We can help out with that. Edith Peterson, hi. Okay, so this is what I wanted to start with you guys. Calm down. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. I know these leaks have been frustrating and they are trying to steal the story and control the narrative. Deep breaths. Come on the count of three, we're going to take deep breaths together. 1, 2, 3. Let it out slowly. One more. One more time. There we go. All right, now hands all the way in the air and stretch. Go ahead and stretch. Reach up to heaven, stretch. Bring them down to your side slowly. Oh, pull them all the way back. Try to make your hands touch and then swing them back around, forward. Put your hands out in front of you. Shake your hands. Do a jazz hand like the Kate Middleton does. Do those jazz hands. There you go. Okay, you guys. Now, isn't that better? Because I know. As a matter of fact, I was watching Anita of My Duke and I, and Anita was so frustrated with these leaks. Um, and I agree. I have tried as much as possible to be current with the conversation and yet avoid all of the little minute details of the book because, I mean, after all, you do want to take it into context and enjoy it yourself because, like it or not, all of these voices are going to start renting space in your head. And none of us are so tough. I don't care who you are and how tough you think you are. Words matter. And what the tabloid media, also known as the British media, what they're trying to do can affect us. And so that's why it's very important to try to shake that stuff off. Because if you don't, then you're going to start having those really bad negative feelings that you really can't explain or put into words because, um, as I say, the words do matter and they do affect us. And, if you let that poison in, it's going to come out somehow. So that's why it's very important that you are very selective about what you're taking in. And so, between Twitter and other forms of social media, I have been so inundated with negativity. And of course, I have been very much inundated with all of the aspects of the book. Like for instance, the okay, some things are just so big you can't miss them. Like when the book first leaked, you may remember I was on a live and I saw someone saying something. I'm like, what? And it was The Guardian. Now, at that point, I thought it was kind of interesting. And I'm like, okay, well, it's just this one thing. It's not going to spoil the entire book. But then it just kept going on and on and on. It's kind of like when, let's say, there's a royal duchess, right? And she marries into that family. And you find out that she is the best thing that has happened to that family since Princess Diana. And you just want to watch her do her work and her charities and reach out to people, and all the love and everything is exchanged between herself and the greater public, right? But then you find out that she's being targeted. And as much as you have all of these great feelings inside, you begin to be affected by all of the negativity. And so you realize, okay, now I got to stop watching this morning show. Now I have to stop watching that SOB, and on and on and on. And so then all of a sudden, things kind of boil down to just a few select locations where you can go and find the news. But herein lies the problem. The one source that is the most negative always has the best photos. I mean, let's face it, I'm not going to pretend otherwise. They always have the best photos. Not always the best source photos. Sometimes they are quite intrusive. And of course, we don't like to share those. But from day to day, they do tend to have all the photos. And so it's kind of like being in an abusive relationship where you need certain things, like, let's say, a roof over your head, but at the same time, along with that comes a lot of abuse. So it's a roller coaster, and you have to try to find a good filter to sustain yourself, because everything in this world is not going to be a bowl of cherries. And I don't think we're supposed to live a life where we don't take the bitter with the sweet, but it's how you manage that makes a difference. Sonia Johnson says, Harry, I'm proud of you and only wished Harry would have gotten much more of them than he did. Sonia Johnson. Wow, I didn't see that coming. A close acquaintance lost her son in Afghanistan to those cowards. I do not want to hear Jack from you. Well, Sonia Johnson, I didn't know you were as militant as that, but not that that's a bad thing, because you know what I say. Sometimes when you see a bully, you have to kind of bloody their nose to get their attention. So trust me, I totally understand. But when I I was just kind of taken off guard a little bit um, as I was reading along. But I agree with you. Um, you know, uh, there's one thing to talk about Iraq. The other thing is Afghanistan. It was a place that gave safe harbor to terrorists, and I think even critics of the war agree about having gone there. It went on way too long and such, but after a while, we shouldn't have been there. You're not going to fix the entire world, but the mission was achieved, and the people that threatened us are no longer there, and now we could go back. But Harry volunteered to do service for his country. He could have gotten out of it, of course. And by the way, thank you, Sonia Johnson, for your comment. He could have gotten out of it. He could have got a deferral, or they probably wouldn't have asked in the first place. But there's some things that you have to do because you want to grow up. And the military is a place where a young man can build that inner core strength that's needed to carry them through life. And that's exactly what happened with Harry. Harry wouldn't have gotten the backbone that he has if not for the fact that he was there. And one of the benefits of him being there is, there's fewer bad guys in this world. So win-win. And let's see here. Okay, Church Nelly, I'll take that one. Baron, I tuned out the British and American media, waiting for my own copy of Spare to arrive, tired of the damn trolls showing up in the live chats. Yeah. And Church Nelly, we've been at this long enough to know the only reason why they show up in such high numbers is because they feel that the tide is, turning. And because of that, they need to try to get into our hearts and minds. They have to try to undermine our thoughts. They have to try to discourage us and demoralize us so that we are not fighting back, that we are not pushing back against the the unseen hand. I'll just say that, the unseen hand. And that's really what they want us to do. And that is why I say, don't let them, and I know it's not always so easy, but don't let them get the better of you. Don't let them in your conscience. We got 24 hours as of this moment. We have slightly less than 24 hours. And Anderson Cooper is going to have his interview. I imagine in the East Coast is 7 p.m. West Coast, I don't know what time, but Central time, it'll be 6 p.m. For 60 minutes. And hopefully there's not a game. Sometimes on a game night, they push it back. But let's just hold off, you guys. Give it 24 hours, and we are going to start hearing from Harry. Harry is going to sing like Aretha Franklin, and we will hear his truth. It's one thing to have it taken out of context with these drips and drips and drips of stories, but once he gets a chance to speak, he's an honest person, and he makes a very compelling case for himself. So, as I always say, trust Harry. Please trust Harry. Thank you, Church Nelly. And I promise you, all of this is going to fade away. It always does. Plus, it started on a Friday. And I told you guys, one of the best ways to get rid of things is to have it start on a Friday. Unless it's a really big thing, sometimes it's a little hard to shake it from the weekend. But I think that things will get better starting Sunday night. Okay, they've pulled out a lot of people to speak against Harry, especially from the military-industrial complex. But a sane person would realize that these people that are so critical, where were their voices when Harry needed their support? Where were their voices when the lack of participation from the British military was so obvious, even Stevie Wonder could see it? Where were their voices then? It's so ironic that they have so much to say now, but when their own wounded warriors needed their support, they were all but invisible. There was no great effort to go to The Hague. But there was plenty effort. I'm sorry. Actually, it's not plenty effort. It's as little as hopping on a train, I would imagine, to go and sit in a studio or to get on the Zoom call so that you can berate and criticize Harry for telling his truth that he started telling almost a decade ago. That's what's so weird about this is that it's really not even new. There's nothing new about this. Gail Becker says, believe it or not, my doctor strongly recommends deep breathing. Trust me, it does help with being healthy, especially the lungs, heart, and brain. I learned that in graduate school. Thank you, Gail Becker. I really, really am so glad that you said that. And I will try to do it more often myself. Appreciate it. Maureen says, I think the British media wants to cheapen the book by putting the content of the book out there. Unfortunately, Spare is heavy duty, and there are many eager and hungry souls out there. Very true, Maureen. Does especially anybody who's an avid reader, they know they know better. And so this stunt that they're pulling is only going to go so far. And I as I was thinking about this earlier today and even late last night, they really hope to target young people. That's what they're doing. They're trying to target the demographic that has been most supportive of the Sussexes. They want to target the young. This is not for the older person. This is for the younger person. They're trying to create and stir so much outrage against Harry, the aimless warrior who just went out there to pillage and destroy, because it offsets the really big story, and that is his abusive brother. Janet Lavallee says, Baron, I think The Guardian has a new editor from the Daily Fail. I think that is what's going on. Please stay away from that toilet paper. Amen. Okay, and Georgia Walker says, let us stay prayed up, my royal Sussex family and Baron. Georgia Walker, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. All right. Almost 1,200 people. I wasn't sure there would be many people around at this hour. Anne is here from Duchess of Success. Thank you so much, and thanks for the reminder. Let's see. Rick, thank you for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you, Lydia Washington, for the bell. Not everybody is as happy about this gift as I am. And I'm not saying that anybody in the squad wants you to wake up with a horse head in your bed or anything like that for gifting it to me. Speaking of gifts, by the way, someone gave me a supply of, the face masks that we've been wearing for the past few years and that I still wear. And they just arrived yesterday. And thank you so much. Right on time. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see here. So D. Bernard says, remember this is volume 1. There are 3 books. There are 3 book series. Yes, there's 3 books in this series. This is number 1. And so while speaking of a horse head in the bed, while I got to stop doing that. While there are people that are probably sleeping peacefully at this hour, secure in the idea that they have dodged a book, if you will, it doesn't mean that, let me get that off the screen. It doesn't mean that they won't be in the next book or even the one after that. So today's easy pass is tomorrow's horse head in the bed. I take too much pleasure in that. I know I do. One of my guilty. Sorry about the echo. There we go. That's one of my guilty pleasures is that horse head in the bed. Right out of a mafioso movie. Okay, so Legs has a super chat. I knew when they wanted to drag stories out until the book came out, and each day would be a story. They didn't want Harry or the book to get money. They want their narrative and hope people buy it. Legs, the only thing that I hate about the way that they've been, releasing this stuff is that I would have felt so much better if everyone had already had their book, but they don't. And so I'm unfortunately, if there are any favorable rather voices in the media that would give Harry a fair shake, um, unfortunately, they have to depend on the bits and pieces that have been dripped all over the place rather than having a book in their hand or on their device where they can take everything in proper context and even perhaps hopefully lend some type of defense for all of the nasty things that are being said right now. So that's the only thing that I hate about this. If it were possible that okay, the book has been put out there ahead of time, yeah, okay. And I'm not surprised that happened, but the scale of it, where they would literally stock the shelves of a bookstore or a book chain or whatever, that that to me is unforgivable. If it was one low in lonely, or should I say one I'm sorry, lone, that's what I'm looking for. If there was one lone individual who, took 20 euros and slipped someone the book, that would not hurt as much as stocking the shelves of the bookstore. Now that was insane. I would have expect someone to snatch one off of a pallet somewhere. I mean, you hope they won't, but to just fill the bookstore with it, ahead of schedule, that to me was absolutely irresponsible. And I hope whoever is responsible for that, I hope they, get in trouble for it because that's really a breach of of the um, of the embargo that was placed on the book in the first place, and a deliberate breach, very deliberate. Well, at least it appears to be. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but this was epic. I mean, huge. This was huge. So yeah, I don't like it. But thank you so much, Legs, for your comment, and thank you for the super chat, and thank you so much for being here as always. All right, Andrea B, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being here. Happy Saturday to you. And again, 24 hours before Koopa. I love the way the guy on Emily in Paris referred to her as Koopa. Koopa. All right, so thank you so much. And I'm so glad and appreciate you're here. All right, got a new member, Lynn E. Wow, thank you so much for being a new member of Royal Sussex, and happy Saturday to you. Lynn, take deep breaths for tomorrow. Anderson Cooper will be on. And by the way, you guys, Target has been sending me emails to alert me that my book is on the way and should be here tomorrow. I hope I got that right. Tomorrow. Or did I see that last night? Let me take a look at the last email that I got from them. Okay, it says on the way. As a matter of fact, is it coming tonight? No. In transit for tomorrow. That's the last thing I got. I'm looking at the zigzag on the map. And the last place the book was, it was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So it's getting closer, you guys. It's getting closer. So I will have my book tomorrow in time to watched the interview with Anderson Cooper. So what could I say? God is good. Joan Lawman, thank you so much for that. That was very kind of you. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Um, Again, as I say, deep breaths, give it 24 hours, and the vigorous defense and the long awaited interview will finally take place. Is this, oh, well, let me see. Yeah, this will be the first interview, not because he didn't talk about it before the book was completed or since the announcement. He didn't really talk about the book. So, anyway, yeah, so this is going to be the first time that he spoke about the book. So, yeah, I'm happy. Thank you so much. And I am going to, oh, Legs has a super chat. I would take digs at the British media on Colbert if I was H. You know what? Stephen Colbert is a great interviewer. And so it's going to go very well because Stephen Colbert, he's a thinking man. He's not just a joker or a prankster or something like that. He is very conscious of what's going on here. I don't believe he's ever dragged the Sussexes at all. And so it's a good, and someone was even asking me why Stephen Colbert or why, do any of the late shows for that matter. But there's a formula to the release of a book. You're going to do a morning show, right? Well, Anderson Cooper is on CBS, so it would be kind of redundant to appear on CBS on 60 Minutes and then go back and do a morning show. So since NBC is so shady most days, go to the lesser of two shadies and go to Good Morning America. Okay, so he's going to Good Morning America. And then, of course, when it comes to doing a late night show, then you can go back to CBS for Stephen Colbert. Because it was probably down to either Stephen or I guess Jimmy Fallon. And as much as I love Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, as I said, is excellent when it comes to doing interviews, far greater than Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. So don't mess with the Jimmys, stick with Colbert. So that's that. And then, of course, for British television, since he has a relationship with Tom Bradby, and since Tom Bradby seems to be a pretty, fair and balanced reporter, not just a friend, but, he's going to do his job as evident from the trailers that we have seen or the previews. I say a good choice, excellent choice. So everything has been very deliberate. Harry got this, okay? He's got it. And we are going to cringe. Our toes are going to curl up a bit. Our shoulders may rise up. Just to warn you guys, they're not going to go so easy on him, but they will at least be fair. So just trust the process. And let's just hope that what's already been recorded can somehow offset the last, 48 hours. Also, then there's Stephen Colbert. That one hasn't happened yet. They record that around, I think maybe 6 p.m. So that is his best opportunity, as Lex has pointed out. That would give him a chance to respond to the the British media. So he got this. Don't worry about it, you guys. He's got this, and it's going to work out just fine. And after that, whether or not there'll be other interviews is hard to say. It may just be this 4, but I think it's a good formula, and it all makes sense for a person who's releasing a book. And then he may even go back and do one with Jimmy Fallon at a later date. And And then after that, it's hard to say. I'm going to guess that after these interviews, then he'll probably go to one of the, um, one of the, I guess, I'm trying to think, well, an independent setting, probably not Novara Media, but something like that, if you know what I mean. So it'll be something to that effect. Harry's honesty can get him in trouble sometimes. So I don't want him to be in a controlled environment or have anything that looks like he's taking, softballs. But I don't want him to give them too much to think about either. That would be a problem, because it's not so much what he says, he's going to tell the truth. It's how they twist it and how they spin it that becomes the problem. So it's not his truth that's the problem. It's that the British media, they have honed their skills over several lifetimes, and they know how to manipulate any storyline to turn it into something that it shouldn't be. But when the topic of his brother comes up, and when and if the topic of the abuse comes up in any of these interviews, hopefully that is going to take the narrative away from where they're trying to go, that Harry is just this careless, soldier who's out there pretending to be in the video game. That is the image that they want people to have. But his humanity is going to save the day. So that's what I believe, is that his humanity will be the thing that saves the day. So I'm just going to go with that. Let me do this. Camilla did not leak details of her first meeting with Prince William to the press, as Harry claimed in his tell-all memoir. Okay, so again, this is leaking. This is the kind of stuff that's getting on my nerves. But the reason why I wanted to share it is because of what I have circled or put in the red box right there. Sources claim. So they are actually confirming everything that Harry has been building his case about, and that is the fact that they are briefing and feeding information to the press. What sense does it make to have a headline that it doesn't say Camilla allegedly wasn't responsible, or you know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't leave any ambiguities about Camilla's role. It just says Camilla did not, capital NOT, leak details of her first meeting. And you guys, this is very effective for them. You don't even need to read the story to know what point they're trying to drive home. Anything else is superfluous. It is a matter of making sure that you know and I know, that they know that you know that I know, that she did not leak details of her first meeting with Prince William. And there are people who will believe that because of the narrative that the Sussexes are just trying to sell books and trying to make money. It's all part of a greater strategy that they have. But again, Harry's humanity, his humanity in these interviews are going to be so compelling that I think it is going to make a lot of this stuff totally useless. That's my hope anyway. Anderson Cooper is good at his job. Tom Bradby is, and what was Tom Bradby a war correspondent himself? I know Anderson Cooper was. So in some respects, they have war in common. At least I know Anderson does. Anderson has been to some places, I'm telling you. I remember Anderson as a war correspondent. So Anderson knows how to speak to a soldier. So let that give you some peace of mind. again, all of this can go off the rails because we haven't seen the interview yet. But my hope is that, soldier to war correspondent, that there will be that connection, and also being these spares because Anderson's brother, that died some years ago, I believe his brother was the older one, and had all of the weight of expectations and such. I'm just hoping that there will be that connection, and with Tom Bradby, there's already you know that connection between them. So I don't want it to be easy. I don't want it to be softballs because we want it to be as truthful and honest and spontaneous as possible, but we also need for it to be fair. Uh, Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex and being a member of Royal Sussex and listening to my bell on Royal Sussex. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And Marlene Williams has a super sticker. Thank you. And thank you so much for being here and for watching Royal Sussex. And again, Marlene, Elaine, what is it? Not even 24 hours. I think we're down to 23 hours and 20 minutes. And Anderson Cooper will be on. Okay. And Maureen Reed. Okay, I almost missed that. Thank you for the super sticker and thank you for being here and for being a member of Royal Sussex. Still a bargain at just $4.99. And with that, you get to use all of those amazing stickers. As Oprah Winfrey would say, you can use the stickers. Matter of fact, let me see if I can show you what they look like. Am I able to do that here? Yes. There is Afro Annie, Harry, Megan, Megan and Harry. There we go. Take a look at the comments. Now look at that. For $4.99, you have access to those very cool stickers, right? Now that's something to write home about. All right. Thank you so much, Maureen Reed, and happy Saturday to you. Okay, let's see here. Marshall says, book one, Harry ain't done talking. I hope Megan has a memoir coming next. Girl, she do. She's got her memoir coming. And when that happens, we're going to have a chance to do this all over again. So we're only getting started. And that's why you have to remember, as hard as they're working to try and discredit Harry and, of course, Meghan, it's not effective. It's not going to work long term because they are the most influential couple in the world today. And what they say matter. And even with this hate campaign that's going on against them for the past, 5 or 6 years now, it is going to go up in smoke. The only reason why the machine is fighting so hard against them is because they're losing. And as Miss VS, I think she said that earlier. Miss VS was saying, Miss VS speaks royally, by the way. She was saying that, oh God, what did she say? Wait a minute, give me a second. Oh, it was something to the effect of them. Where's VS at? Of course, she ain't gonna know what I'm talking about because I don't remember now. Oh Lord. Well, it slipped my mind. It'll come back to me. Let me see. Nope, nothing's coming to me. I'll get back to it. Oh man, I'm having a senior moment. Mad World said, "Oh, that's for Black Queen." I'll keep going. Uh, all right. Jocelyn Young says, "I hope Harry and Meghan will not will not go back to the Frogmore servant house. I know the house is tapped, allegedly. Remember what his mom said about KP. Why his cousins are not there anymore? Oh, that's why his cousins aren't there. Well, And of course, it was too close to William. The given the geography of the place, it was too close. It was too close. And maybe and now that we are starting to look at his brother with the eye with a more informed eye, if indeed he is the bully that we have assumed that he is, the alleged, abuser that we assume that he is, could you imagine having him at Adelaide Cottage and the Sussexes over at Frogmore? And that's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. I mean, it's all in the shadow of Windsor Castle. And, you know, anything as intimidating as riding by on the bike or driving past in a car. I mean, let your imaginations run away with the idea of what he would be capable of. And of course, being the senior royal on location means that everyone on the grounds of Windsor Castle, Windsor Great Park, and so on, the most senior royal would be William, which is what I believe the problem was over at Kensington Palace, is that it's so easy to find yourself caught up in the middle of things if you are between the rock and an egghead, like, being one of the aides or courtiers or whatever at Kensington Palace. It is a trap. So, Jocelyn Young, I agree with you. But you know what? If they're paying for the house or whatever, I'm just not going to worry about it. They would have to have been doing something wrong for it to make a difference. They would have to have no sense of awareness to let something like that cause problems for them. And obviously we know better. I mean, I've seen movies when you got something to say, turn on a vacuum, um, go run a shower, or whatever it takes. That I'm sure they'll have that figured out. But or put on Adele, since Adele chooses Harry over William. Play Adele as loud as possible. Thank you so much. B10 says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is that for someone else? I think this is for someone else." Um, Baron, the Messy Sun came out and said that there's translations might not be accurate. What kind of BS is that? Well, accurate or not, it really doesn't make a difference because they are going to put a spin on it, which even the most accurate thing is going to be somehow, um, I guess, skewed to favor the rest of the family, because you can read something for yourself, but by the time those talking heads on television are done picking it apart, how could you even be sure? Because it's gaslighting, and that's how gaslighting works. Is it takes what you know to be true and turn it into doubt. It takes what you know to be true and turn it into a lie or a misunderstanding. That's the purpose of gaslighting, is to take the facts and to smear it around and stir it up until you don't know up from down. That's how gaslighting works. I mean, I've been in situations where I know I'm being gaslit, and I just, I'm very much about details. And as I say, I'm a stickler for words. And I know words have a lot of meaning and purpose. And so it's like a few words leap out and I just don't let it go. And so I don't always act out when someone's trying to gaslight me. I don't always say anything. I pretty much let it play out until, it becomes obvious to everyone involved that this is a bunch of BS. But in this situation, we don't have time for that, because what they're trying to do is to change the whole narrative and thus turn this book into something of, you know, I guess lies and half truths and exaggerations instead of Harry's truth. Harry don't lie. I mean, there's a lot of things in this world that I'm not sure about, but I'm just very certain that Harry doesn't lie. And he gets himself in trouble because he tells the truth. And so when the time comes, when he sits down in these interviews, even the people who don't care for him or have doubts, his ability to be truthful is what's going to win the day. So I can't worry about what spin they put on it. I'm depending on his ability to be truthful, to somehow break through that wall that they're trying to put up, and that people will see him for the sincere, honest person that he is. Because he's working on himself. He's a work in progress. And that's what I love about him. And when a person, I don't care how malicious a person is, if I believe that that person is truly working on themselves and that they're really trying to be a better person and not just lip service, then I can't you know put my foot on that person's neck when they're trying to better themselves. And so I hope that more people feel the same way, that in spite of everything that because they are churning things on um social media and such, and of course on those little networks that they have that popped up overnight. They are churning things out. It's a big story and everybody wants their piece of it for the clickbait and so on. But um, the next big story is not, you know, what's leaking out the book, is going to be the interviews. So let's just get to that, and then we'll take it from there. All right, 10 says it's like tabloids put a hit on H irresponsible. Yeah, I mean that of course that is a very strong way to put it, but essentially it is they're trying to destroy him. They're trying to destroy him and they're trying to destroy Megan. And there are enough people in this world that are intelligent enough to know that if there is so much attention being thrown their way, I mean, because let's face it, this is what's not happening. Harry is not part of the Tory or the Labour Party. He's not trying to be prime minister. Harry is not running for president of the United States. Harry is not the Secretary General of the United Nations. He's none of those things. He is a veteran soldier that is also a philanthropist. He has a foundation. He has a production company. And first and foremost, he has a wife and children. He has his mother in law that, I don't know how else to put it, but because of the impact that has come from his nation of birth, I mean, he's responsible for all of them, including his mother in law. He's the man of the house for, that part of Megan's family, and so as the man of the house, he carries a very heavy burden. And so, with all of those things going on, his truth is the only thing that he has for leverage in any situation, is his ability to be truthful. And if you take that away, then you can take everything away. And that's why they're working so hard to make him out to be this liar, and to of course be mentally ill and so fragile, because if they could take that away, then they can take control of the narrative. That's what they did with Princess Diana, is that they had to portray her as being insane and irrational. When they start doing stuff like that to you, then you say to yourself, yeah, I can't fight him back. I better not fight him. I shouldn't fight him, because this is what they want. This is what they want me to do, so that they would have some excuse to either lock me out or lock me up. That's really what it comes down to, is that one of the worst things that an abuser can do is to tell people that you're crazy or that you're insane. And the worst of the worst is if you believe it about yourself. If they can make you believe that about yourself, then they've probably won. And they never got that far with Diana. And they aren't going to do that to him because he has safety nets that Diana did not have. So it's just not going to work. He has too much. He has way more than the average person in his situation would have. But if not for that, then they would probably have him heavily medicated and very agreeable and able to show up and give a little smile. You know what? As I'm saying that, as I'm saying that, something just went through my mind that they would have him very medicated and very agreeable. And animated and petrified. Oh my God. Oh, mm. Oh well. I'm not saying that that's the case, but and, and it may not be. Wait a minute. It may not be the first time that happened. Huh. Yeah. Don't forget to drink your milk. It's tea time. Oh Lord, I didn't stumbled onto something, I think. Okay, you know what? Let me move on because I before somebody puts something in my tea, I woo woo. Okay. Um, I tell you, you can't unring a bell, can you? Um. Anyway, let me just move on. Maybe I done drifted into something, and maybe it'll come out in the book. Who knows? uh, okay. Thank you, 10. Oh, Lord. Oh, got a new member, Terry Crawford. Thank you so much for being a new member. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And remember, only a $4.99 bargain to become a member of Royal Sussex. Okay, I'm like way behind. I got to do some scrolling. Masakali, thank you so much for the super sticker and being a member of Royal Sussex. Miss VS Speak, I was trying to quote you earlier and then forgot what I was trying to say. Ain't that a trip? But you had said something so insightful earlier, and I thought about it. And when I tried to say it, I guess somebody put something in my tea. So somebody slipped me a Mickey or something. Somebody put something in my tea, and now I can't think what I was trying to say. But you said something that was just absolutely brilliant earlier, and it slipped my mind. But if I go back and watch again, I could probably figure it out. But anyway, Miss VS, thank you so much for being here. Rick says, child, waiting for this book to come out and the interview to come out, and my emotions are all over the place. Literally, my heart is beating like I am running from the popo. Oh, I'm telling you, it is. It we only that day is going to go by so fast. It's already nighttime, or should I say, it's already tomorrow for most people anyway. So we ain't got long. We ain't got long. So don't worry. The popo ain't about to get you. Don't worry.
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
Yeah, they ain't coming after you. Don't worry. Shelly L says, I think a lot of people are going to relate to the abuse he experienced. The 83 trolls are already hard at work saying he's whining. Yes. And that, and that, Shelly L, is what they are nervous about because they don't have that demographic known as the millennials and the whatever the other one is. They don't have the young people. And if there's anything that young people are more conscious of is their mental health. They are quite aware of how awful abuse can be and how they know what an abuser looks like. An abuser looks like okay. I'm not saying that he is, but this is what an abuser looks like. It looks like this, an old sourpuss. That's what an abuser looks like. And a victim, well, a victim kind of looks like this. Not that one, but the other one. Or looks like this. No matter how happy, no matter how jovial the moment, an abuser, and I'm just using this as an example. I'm not saying that either one of them are victim or villain. But when you're happy and laughing and having a good time, an abuser just kind of glares at you like that, right? Like if you have an event called a royal carol, the abuser, instead of smiling with pride, they glance upon you with disdain, you know, and is so problematic because someone who is really happy and love their partner tends to glance upon the other person with such adoration and love and respect. Harry was so proud of Meghan in this moment, and I can't help but think that this and nobody ever really talks about this, but I just when this happened, when they had the cookbook luncheon thingy, everybody was talking about how Megan had given that impromptu speech without notes. But I think this was the problem. I think this was the problem is that number one, Harry was so full of pride and joy for his wife. That was a big moment for her. And number two, her mother was there. And this cannot be the face of the royal family. Doria does not align with the image of the family. I mean, it's already enough that you have someone who looks like they're, racially ambiguous and of mixed race. It's another thing when you have someone that is all out, you know, Central to Southern African. That is a problem. And even though there hasn't been much said about this, not even from the squatties, I know that this was a problem. I just felt it. My instincts told me that this is going to be a problem. I just could not see that family. And I had no notion about exactly how deep racism was running and coursing through the veins of the Windsors when I felt that way. But it was just in my core being, I just thought this had the potentials of being a bit of a problem. I could not see them comfortable with having Doria around. And especially since Doria did not try to cozy up to that family at all, because, likewise, if my instincts was telling me that this optic seems a bit jarring, and I had concerns, I could only imagine what would have happened if she had shown up on other occasions. I mean, even Carol Middleton doesn't show up that much, but Carol Middleton has gone to like Royal Ascot and such. Could you imagine Doria at Royal Ascot? I mean, I would have enjoyed it just, to see that there was this kind of unity and, for lack of a better word, tolerance, you know. But no, that wasn't going to work, you know. I was a fan of Star Trek because I like the idea of people of different races and backgrounds and everything mingling together for a common cause. But that just didn't seem like it fit with the royal family. And you know how they always say you don't know what you know until you need to know it. Well, I didn't know that I knew before I needed to know it. But then after everything went south, I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. Now I know what I was feeling. Okay? Now I understand better what I was feeling in that moment. So anyway, thank you so much, Shelly L, and thank you so much for the super chat. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. uh okay, I am scrolling in the wrong direction, I think. Where am I supposed to be? Nope, I need to go back there so I can, because I know it's like another super chat or two, and I don't want to miss that. Give me just a second, you guys. Ooh, a lot of comments. Oh, well, no wonder it's like over 1,500 people in here. All right. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Let me see. Helene says, for squatties from Europe, I have a link that gives you free access to CBS and all the other channels so you can watch the interview live. I can share. Well, that's very sweet, Helene. Okay. And Ruth Lopez says, Baron, I wish I could find the interview where Colbert asked John Oliver if he had any advice for Meghan before the wedding. Oliver told Meghan to run. Yeah, I've seen that one actually. And I think that's John Oliver. And that just lets you know something, guys. Stephen Colbert is aware of the Sussex's situation. They're aware of it. So again, I believe that as things go, he's in good hands with let me see here. Okay, I'm going to try to play a little part of that, Ruth. Not the whole thing, but just a little part of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are in for an enormous treat.
Oh, and now the questioner is the questionee.
Your reaction was as if I was pinning you down over something. Fine, what have you heard?
That's right.
Now, have you heard about this? Because you've been here for a little bit of a while, and I've been rehearsing before we did the show. Turns out right now, it's almost 6 o'clock when we're recording this. Nancy Pelosi's been on the floor.
Okay, not that.
She might be marrying into a family that could cause her some emotional complications.
But this generation seems like nice people, right? They're all nice now, right?
Yeah. I mean, there are an emotionally stunted group of fundamentally flawed people doing a very silly pseudo job. That's what she's marrying into. So I hope she likes it. It's going to be weird for her. I would not marry into the royal family. I'm a commoner. I would not be welcome, especially after what I've just said. I'm guessing the Queen is probably...
Could you get a knighthood? Could you get a knighthood?
Okay, I'll leave it there. And because I have it on my screen right now, I am going to put it in the community tab. But that was from 4 years ago. And I am going to label it. This is it. Okay, there it is. I sent it to the community tab, and you guys can grab that anytime you want to watch it. Yeah, so that's the one that that Ruth Lopez is speaking about. Thank you so much, Ruth, for reminding us about that one, and thank you so much for being here. Okay. Woo, there we are. All right, thank you, Ruth Lopez. I'm scrolling. Oh, and by the way, you guys, one thing that you may consider doing is that any of these interviews that you want to watch, if you can't get it on your television, if you know someone in another area or time zone or whatever that can get it on their television, you can just have them lay the phone down and listen to any of these upcoming interviews, because you don't just necessarily have to see the images to appreciate what is being said. So if it doesn't work for you one way, then just try to do it like that. Gail Tapscott, thank you so much for the super sticker and for being a member of Royal Sussex. And thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to take deep breaths. We're in the home stretch. And for about 48 hours, whatever the circumstances, Harry is going to own the airways. And I don't think it's going to be in the way that the tabloid media and the institution has planned. Again, I believe that Harry's honesty and integrity is going to win the day. Let's see. Miss VS Speaks royally says Harry has receipts. He does, as does Meghan, and they are not afraid to show them during a lawsuit. That is so true. That is so true. Harry said before they left the UK that this may not be the smartest way to go, but right now it's the only thing that makes sense, as I paraphrase. Okay, didn't I just see Big Mama? Hey, Big Mama. Isabella Anastasia, hi. Big Mama says, hello, Baron and Squatties. Thank you so much for being here, Big Mama. Okay, and Phyllis Brooks has a super chat. Baron, I found a young YouTuber, Sussex convert, and a Brit, Claudia Boland, who breaks down the, what is that? The psychopathy of will? Psychopathy. Crown Media and Harry and Media versus Harry and Meghan. So on point, might help squatties feel better. Thank you so much, Phyllis Brooks. I appreciate that. And you know what? You said that at just the right time, because right here are two channels that you can try. There's Prince _ Archie _ Lily, and there's also Duchess Royal, which are a couple of channels that I have put in the community tab. So if you would like to try those channels, go to the community tab on Royal Sussex, not your community tab, my community tab, and you can go to the top and there's a menu: home, video, shorts, live, playlist, community, members, so on and so forth. Well, go there and click on community for Royal Sussex. And these two channels were like two of the last three things that I posted. So, wow, isn't that weird, Phyllis Brooks? We have this very strong spiritual connection. You brought it up just as I was going to the next slide. I'm not sure what that means, but I tell you what, do you have any numbers I can play? Since the lottery is $1 billion, let's see if we can connect with that one. I'll cut you in. But yes, thank you so much for that, Phyllis Brooks, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Okay, yeah, so those two channels. Now, I haven't had a chance but to watch only one video per, but anyway, as I said, we need more voices, and there are more voices. And the only reason why I'm here is because there was a need for more people to speak up and to speak out for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And so here's an opportunity to help. Now, in order to do that, excuse me, you have to go over and see how their channels are. And if you like it, then just like, subscribe, and share. It's just that simple. And, I think there may be some more channels out there that I don't know about, but over time, they usually pop up with the algorithm. And when that happens, I like to check them out. So that's your opportunity to do so. Okay, let me see. But remember, you guys, if it's a channel that somehow you think may be anti-Sussex, don't forget to just keep hitting not interested, and also channels that you have come up in your feed like that, quickly remove them from the history, because if you don't take them out of your history, then the algorithm is going to think that you love those channels. Even if you only watch it for a minute, they're going to think you love those channels, and every time you tune in, they'll be there waiting for you. So get them out of your history and keep clicking that not interested. Keep clicking not interested, and that's the only way to make them go away. It's just like, sometimes when you wake up with a horse head in your bed, you could try garlic or a steak. um, Also, if excuse me, if that horse head does not cast a reflection in the mirror, if that's the case, then just get out. I don't know why I'm obsessed with that. But yes, anyway, thank you so much, Phyllis Brooks. I'm scrolling. I hope one of those are the channels that you were referring to. If not, don't worry, I'll find it. Let me see here. Oh my goodness, these are coming so fast, and I know you guys have some good comments, and I'm probably missing a lot, but it is not intentional. I'm checking because I think there may be another super chat, and I don't want to miss the super chats or the super stickers. Oh, there we go. I hope this is the one that I think. Okay, God's Child says, "Hi, Baron. William looked like um, Diana as a child. He looks nothing like Diana now, nor his dad. What's inside Will is showing on his face. Will needs the light. When Will receives Christ, his face will change, allegedly." God's child, there's a lot to be said about that. There's a lot to be said about that, because it's true when a person has, let's say, a demonic spirit, it seems to change their appearance. And even the most attractive people can suddenly seem quite ugly. You know what I mean? You know how when you see someone and you think they're attractive, and then when you find out otherwise, it's just like something is cast upon them where everything gets to be quite ugly. So, as they say, God ain't crazy about cute, and he don't care for ugly either. So you have a great point there. And I believe that to be true, is that when a person has evil in their hearts, it really shows up on their face. So great point. Thank you so much for telling us that and sharing your thoughts. And also thank you for watching Royal Sussex and for being a member of Royal Sussex. All right. So B10. Hey, B10 pal. Compton Caligal says, "Well, the royal family won't receive a copy of the book from Eugenie, seeing that William put her and her husband out of Harry's home." Well, now you know what? I didn't hear it that way. As a matter of fact, I just know that they moved. But if you got some tea about that, I would definitely be interested in hearing it. We always like fresh tea. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite slides that I have shown over time has, of course, been a little tea party, because we like tea. Tea is good. Tea is so aromatic and refreshing, and then you get that very light buzz from the caffeine. So, yes, we like tea. Thank you so much for that, Compton Cali gal. But that Adelaide Cottage is a cute little gingerbread style house, and it would have been perfect for the Sussexes. But it's been reported that the Cambridges only wanted it because Harry and Meghan was suggested to go there, and that may have been a bit of pettiness on their part. But yeah, you guys, they routinely evict people from these royal households or the homes that are part of the crown estate. So an estate, just so we're all on the same page. Now, I believe that an estate consists of, more than just the house and whatever land they farm and where they shoot and their walled gardens and such. An estate may have several homes and even a town, if I'm correct, right? Some of those estates may have like a little village or something on it. And whoever owns that land collects the tax, which is why they refer to them as landlords, because it's their land and they are the lords of that land. And so in feudal times, people would move to these lands to farm or whatever, and they would stay for one generation after the next. But they may never own the home that they live in. You can build it on that property, but you don't own the land. So it's very feudal. And in some places, you can actually build a house, like the Duchy of Cornwall. You can build a home, but you don't own the land. And when you die, if I heard right, you can't leave that property to your children. It reverts to the Duchy of Cornwall, meaning that now it would belong to William. So people that live in Cornwall, they are under some of the most strict and the most ancient feudal land holdings and titles and such. Very, very strange way to live. Thank you so much, Compton Caligal. Carol Purdue has a super sticker. Thank you so much, Carol, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. All right. Let me see. Want to make sure. All right, I think there we go. The very last comment is it that for me? Oh yeah, it's not for me. How is Nash? Is there something I don't know about Nash Singby? But yeah, Nash, if there's there we go. Nash says, I am doing well. How are you all? How are you and your family? Okay, that's for Kids Endure, not for me. But anyway, if there's something going on, Nash, thank you so much for being here. And my prayers are with you. Meghan had her own money, so the royal family could not keep her in line through financial means. Since she was an independent woman, she had to be reined in somehow. Yeah. I think that William was just really threatened by her because if there was a member of the royal family who in any way was on par with the titles and the, you know, in other words, if there was another duchess, if there was another princess who was independent minded, and it may not have just been William's suggestion that she needed to be reined in. It may have come from Charles as well, among other people, like for instance, someone who routinely drinks beverages out of paper bags may have had some input about reining Meghan in. It could have come from other places, not even within the family, but outside of the family, that suggested that she was like this wild stallion that needed to be broken somehow. And rather than appreciate Meghan for everything that she had going for her and the way that she would ever be able to speak to the Commonwealth, now the Commonwealth is slowly slipping away. And along with the Commonwealth, so is the Union. You have Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and of course, all the other, Commonwealth countries that eventually are no longer going to be a part of the Commonwealth. And you got those nations within the United Kingdom that will no longer be a part of that union. So much of it is slipping away, and it's well deserved. They asked for this. This is what they asked for. And it's not only because it's Meghan, it is the principle of it, which is why all of this is so much bigger than just Rachel Meghan Markle. It is about the principle of something that most people of color have experienced so often just for being a woman, you may experience this. And that is that there is this anticipation that by virtue of your race or your ethnic background or your gender, that you are not fit for purpose, you do not belong in these spaces. And so, this is why you never hear people say that the queen was this empowered woman or liberated woman in any kind of way, because she was really just there to mind the store until a guy comes along. The only thing that really upsets the order of things is that usually when there's a woman on the throne, she tends to live a very long time. I believe the longest serving sovereign before Victoria was it Elizabeth the First? I don't think any of the guys ever lasted that long. But Elizabeth the First, I mean, she was queen for a long time. And back in those days, people didn't live as long. So for some people, that was the only sovereign they had ever known. And the same with Victoria. Just think how many people lived and died and never known another sovereign. And of course, with Elizabeth, 70 years on the throne. That was a record for the UK. And that was the only sovereign that they had ever known. So I can understand why the state funeral is very important. I can understand why the coronation is very important to people, because it's something that you wait a lifetime for. However, since the time that the Queen first uttered the words, "I pledge before thee that I will give my life and blah, 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 for myself and for our imperial family," whatever that speech was. Oh my God, I roll my eyes when I hear that speech. Um, Ever since then, there have been people that have been waiting for a coronation and for, a state funeral and all those things. Is big. But since that time, the economy for a lot of those people has been on a downward spiral. And when that's involved, I don't care who it is and how long you've been waiting. It's just not that important anymore. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't suspect there's going to be a great backlash with the coronation. But from one of the headlines I've seen is that Harry will have no official role in the coronation, and you know what? That is just fine. If he doesn't go, that's fine. He can watch it on television just like the rest of us. Whatever he does, I respect his choice, but it's not going to be as monumental, because let's face it, this is a big show for an admitted adulterer and his side piece. It is just not going to be as big of a deal. And I want to see it. I've always wanted to see a coronation, but it's not even because of Harry and Meghan as much as it is I've gotten older, and the whole I guess quirkiness of it has faded. The state funeral, I have to admit, that was a big disappointment. It was a lot of pomp and pageantry, but it's kind of boring. It was just like you're looking at Charles with all that makeup, that chalky makeup on his face. If it wasn't for the Sussexes, I doubt if I would have watched even half of what I watched. But I wanted to be there mostly to support them. But aside from that, it was a big fat nothing burger. And I suspect that this coronation will be the same, especially when they say "Long live the king." When they started chanting that, when it was the queen, it was like, okay, this is weird, but that's how they do stuff. But when it comes to Charles, I'm afraid I am going to be so underwhelmed, if not turned off by it, because there's nothing very kingly about him. And that's really too bad. But it's the life that he was born into, and the lack of enthusiasm is what he worked really hard for. Lisa, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Saturday to you. Happy New Year. And thank you for being here. Okay. And Claudia Blanco, thank you for the super sticker. Happy New Year. Happy Saturday. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. All right. And I'm going to scroll. Let me go to the next slide. Okay. So my book is on the way, you guys. My book is on the way. And this is me when I wake up tomorrow. Anything come for me? I'm telling y'all, I am going to be Miss Seeley on the stoop, or Miss Seeley standing out there in that field of color purple. That is going to be me, even with the rag on my head. I am going to be out there waiting for my book. It is coming tomorrow, and I am going to stand out there and I'm going to grin with the sun on my face and say, anything come for me? Everything come for me? Already there for you. So that is me tomorrow. And then by tomorrow night, that's me right there. That's me. It's, people are going to think that it's the Bible, but it's actually going to be the spare. I'm going to sit in my church pew and I'm going to glance up over my glasses, hoping Mister is paying no notice to me. And I am going to thoroughly enjoy my spare. So that's it. And by the time, let me see here, Nash Singby says, thanks, Baron. It is a blessing to be a part of this family. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Um, you know, uh, Nash, I have to make a confession. I was never one for groups. I was never one for groups. I always had suspicions and such when it comes to belonging to things. Like people have been friends with me on Facebook for years and have never known where I worked. I didn't feel like I wanted to share, and not because I, uh, was embarrassed or anything like that. But for years, I never even listed my employer, schools, none of that stuff. I'm like, but I'm really surprised how many times I say the squad, the Sussex squad, us squaddies. That is like a person I don't recognize. And the more I say it, the more natural it is because the community has really rescued me. Because for whatever reason, in those days before Royal Sussex, I felt a certain way about things that were happening, and there was no one to share it with aside from the squad. You couldn't really articulate, and even now, with as much information as there is, is kind of difficult to get people to watch the documentary. And finally, after they see and hear so much, they will watch it and they get a better understanding. So I'm so glad for that. So, our involvement has paid off. But more importantly, aside from just the Sussexes, that whether it's this channel or any other channel, that you have this community to lean upon. Like when my brother was really sick, and I went to go to be with him and the rest of my family, and people were praying, and I have to say, Nash, I have to say that things were not looking good for him. And the doctors let me just say this, the doctors are amazed so much that his next appointment is not until the summer. So they're just like, it's up to you what's going to happen next. So all their predictions and, you know, prognosis and stuff like that, it seems to have gone out the window. And I'm just like, wow, that's interesting. So yes, thank you so much, Nash, for saying that, and thank you so much for being here. And always thank you for being a member and watching Royal Sussex. Okay, let me see here. Oh, I hope I didn't miss a super chat. Oh, I don't think I did. Okay. All right. I think I'm good. All right. So we got our books, right? When we have our books, we'll have our books. And then, we'll dig into them. And at least this way, all of the, stuff that has I love that Miss VSN speaks, by the way, VS, if you're still here. VS said for the last couple of days, she said, this is all you could hear. And she played a dripping sound. Oh my God, that was so cute. I thought that was so clever. Now, I'm not going to tell you which orifice I'm using to produce this sound, but that's all you can hear. And so yeah, I thought that was really, really clever. So thank you so much for that, Miss VS. I thoroughly enjoyed Miss VS Speaks today, you guys. Oh, okay. Where was I? All right. Anyway, thank you so much, Nash. Black Queen says, hopefully Harry and Meghan will plan a vacation to Jamaica and visit some schools, clinics, etc. Celebrate Archie's birthday in style. That would be nice. That would be nice. As a matter of fact, I want them to be safe wherever they go, but I would love to see them at any Commonwealth or former Commonwealth country. So, people can get a chance to see the alternative to a bunch of fakes and phonies showing up. Thank you, Black Queen. Let me see here. Oh, Marine Reed says, Baron, please play our Archie playing the piano before you go. I shall. Let me see if I can find that. Archie plays a mean piano. Unfortunately, I don't have the slide, but Archie plays a little mean, just a little rag piano, like back in the day, they used to play what they call a rag piano. That's when you improvise, little rag piano. Oh man, but talk about adorable. I love that. And then of course, when he played the drums, is this a good song, mommy? I love that. I love that. How can people be so at odds with a beautiful family like that? I don't know, but oh, there. Oh, there it is. There's little Archie. Hit it, Archie. Diamond in the twinkle, twinkle, little star. Uh-oh, Archie, what happened? Okay, hit it, Archie. Like a diamond in the sky, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Like a diamond in the sky, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Like a diamond in the sky. Aww, that's Archie. That's our Archie. That's our Archie. That's not just their art. That's our Archie too. I love that. Thank you for that, Marine. I needed that right now, actually. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for the super chat. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex and being a member of Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciate it. Like a diamond in the sky, twinkle. Got a new member, Laverne Lockhart. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being here. Also, happy Saturday to you and welcome to Royal Sussex. Still a bargain at just $4.99. Okay, so we got our books, right? Well, we will. And then after we get our books, it is going to be We may be rich. We may live in Montecito, but remember, there are no leaks. And that's what they're going to do when they drive off in the sunset. We may be rich. We may live in Montecito, and there are no leaks in Montecito. I kind of improvised. We may be rich. And what else? What else did I just say? And anyway, there are no leaks in Montecito. Oh man, I know. Don't you love it? I mean, you can't mess with them. They live in Montecito. There are no leaks out there. Yes, thank you so much, Olivia. There's no leaks and there's no Botox in Montecito. All right. All right, you guys. I think, let me see. Was that the last of it? Oh, and also one more thing. As the Italians fans said during the World Cup that time, Megan one of us, well, Harry one of us. Harry's over here with us now. So he is going to have all of the love and protection that comes with being an American. And in spite of what they say, Americans are still gushing over Harry, and we're crazy about the Sussexes. So they're not going to take that away from us. And also, you know what? You never know. Harry may not be at the what do you call it? He may not go to the what do you call that? The coronation. Maybe he goes, maybe he doesn't go. But I don't think he's the one they need to worry about. He'll be okay. Let me see. Now see, I can never find that guest that's going to be there when I need that guest to be there. You all know who I'm looking for, don't you? Let me see. Oh man, you know what? I should have had that ready. But that's okay. He's coming because there will be a guest. There's someone on the guest list that is unexpected, but he will be there and he is going to set things right. And that, of course, is the person who should have been in the Harry and Meghan documentary. And that, of course, is Trench.
That's Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
I can't wait until Charles is walking down the aisles of Westminster Abbey and Trenchtown Man. Actually, when William comes down the aisle, Trenchtown Man is going to pop up. Oh my God, I just thought about that. William and Kate are probably going to be a part of the procession. Ugh. This is going to, oh my God, there's really nobody in that procession that I want to see. I just thought about that. There is no one in the royal procession at the coronation that I want to see. You're going to have Mumbles with that petrified, overpainted, overprocessed hair and face. You're going to have William with that smug look on his face. And then, of course, somebody's going to take that horse head out the bed and put that on display. Oh, it's going to just be dreadful. Ugh. I just realized that there's really no one there that I want to see. I mean, if Harry and Meghan are not there, if they go, I'm definitely going to watch. I don't care if they're in the ceremony or not. But, yeah. Ugh. Could you, you know what? I don't mind seeing Charles. I just don't want to see William that day. because he is going to have that smug look on his face. And that's just going to ruin it. Oh well, you guys, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, wait a minute. I did have some more stuff. What was I talking about? Omen Scobie, I'm anti-war, so any talk of killing is not for me. But it's wild to see how in 2013, papers called Harry Hero Prince Action Man, swashbuckling royal when he spoke about killing Taliban insurgents. A decade on, and now the enemy he's attacked for repeating the same claim. Yeah, so you guys don't go anywhere. I forgot about this. I thought I was done, but no, I'm not. But I'm going to go fast though. So this is what Omid tweeted less than a day ago. And of course, they called him the Sussex mouthpiece. And this is why context matters. Spare may have leaked early, but as would be the case with any book, the tiny snippets being reported don't do text justice. Text matter, right? Oh, by the way, you guys, Special K thoughts. Did y'all watch Special K last night? Did y'all watch last night's Special K? Oh my God, Special K was on fire. Anyway, to finish what Omen here says, here's the section where Prince Harry talked about the realities of armed combat during his 2012 Afghanistan tour. So, okay, these are the front pages from back then. And this is, yes, Lydia, yes. I was like, come on, Special K. Come on. My voice got really high. Come on, Special K. But anyway, you guys, so these are the front pages. I'm not even going to bother with the what they lifted from the book. I'm just saying what I said yesterday. This was known about 10 years ago. And now they want to make it a thing. Now they want to make it a thing. So Harry did his duty. He was celebrated. He's been regaled as a war hero. And they're trying desperately to take that away from him because, yet again, it's another one of those situations that, in comparison to his brother, Harry has been a hero and a star through and through. And they are only trying to suppress the stories about his brother being a bully so that they can try to make him seem like he's more than what he actually is. And the only way to do that is to try to take the hero out of Harry's description, out of his bio. They're trying to take the hero away. That is not going to work. And Dr. Shola, you guys have been wondering, where is Dr. Shola? If haters thought I was loud in 2022, they shall see more. They shall see me roar in 2023. Thank God I am rested, re-energized, and refreshed. Let's go. That is from Dr. Shola. Don't know how I missed this, but that was her tweet from January 1st. So you guys, Shola ain't gone nowhere. I think she's been working on something. Dr. Shola says here, Prince William called Meghan Markle difficult, rude, abrasive, racist tropes, Kensington Palace sources fed media about her, then physically attacked Harry. Only a coward blames a woman for physical and verbal violence he does under the guise of helping his brother. Shameful. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Shola. Thank you for always being in the Sussex corner. And speaking of which, there is our couple right there, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They are the reason why we are here. But again, this is so much bigger than just Harry and Meghan. This is about truth, justice, and everybody else's way. But you know, that's what they usually say. But so yes, that is all I had. Okay, you guys, I am done. And I will see you all tomorrow. I'm so sad because Celibacy wasn't on today, and you know I love to start my Saturdays with Celibacy, and they were not on, and I was so disappointed. But that's okay. Um, we had VS Speaks, we had Ann, and don't forget, you guys, you have some homework because there's those two other channels that I shared with you. So again, they're in the community tab. The last three things that I posted to the community tab are the ones that you may want to go and take a look at. I hope you will. And remember, as Joyce Myers say, there is life in the word. And that's why I'm offering this 3-part cassette series called Hush Your Mouth. Now, see, my brother, what is that? Oh, yeah. My husband Dave told me, he said, Joyce, you need to hush up. Oh, really? Ivy was on? Hello, Ivy here. Okay. I didn't know that. Ivy, I thought she usually comes on Sunday, but that's okay. Right? I didn't say it. That's why my husband Dave, he always says, Joyce, shut up, you talk too much. And she always talking about her husband Dave. And remember, there's life in the word. And that's why I'm offering this 3-part cassette series called Hush Your Mouth, Joyce. Just take the money. Woo! Oh man. You guys know once I start doing my impersonations, I can't stop. Now, it's only January the 7th, so it's going to take a while before it is tasteful to do my Barbara Walters. So I'm going to practice until then. I am going to practice my Barbara Walters. And anyway, I'm getting silly now. So I'm gonna go, you guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your contributions. Oh, by the way, yesterday I didn't have time to do the list because it was call-in day. Oh God, I really enjoyed the calls on Duchess of Success yesterday. I thought they were excellent. Let me see here. Okay, so is that today and yesterday, right? Okay, so yesterday, thank you so much, Joan Garcia, Elaine Parker, Connie Balmer, Marilyn King for the new membership, Ginger Lily, Legs, Shelly LLL, Mackenzie 2 months membership, is with Smile or whatever that, what is that? ISW Smile. Thank you, and Hen Pow. And then for today, is that today? Yo. Okay, for today, thank you so much for donations and memberships to Royal Sussex, which include Spring. I didn't even see that one, new membership. And then Georgia Walker, Rick, Miss D, Bernard, Legs, and then Lynn E for a new membership, Joan Lawman, Elaine Parker, Marlene Williams, Maureen Reed, 10. And of course, there is Terry Crawford's new membership. And then also Shelly L, Masakali, Gail Tapscott, Phyllis Brooks, God's Child, Carol Purdue, Nash Singby, Claudia Blanco, and Lisa and Laverne Lockhart, new membership. Thank you all very much. Thank you so much for supporting Royal Sussex, or as Big Mama would say, whatever support means. Oh, Big Mama, that was so funny when you said that. Whatever love me. Oh man, I never did post that video that I was supposed to post. I call it Introduction to Big Mama. Oh, thank you so much, Lydia. I have been kind of all over the place today, but I see you have something here. Okay, there you go, you guys. It's kind of fast paced when we're doing the lives, you guys. So if I miss something or misinterpret anything, please forgive me. But my eyes are all over the place. These old bloodshot eyes of mine, these old pessimistic eyes, they're all over the place. Yes, Henry the Eighth. Did I share that on the community tab, Sherry? If you guys want to see another great video, Henry the Eighth knocked it out the park. You guys, it's an embarrassment of riches. Yes. Okay, if you go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my last post on the Royal Sussex community tab, I I see 171 people liked it. But Henry VIII, you guys know how I'm always comparing Harry and Margaret. She has done an amazing job of telling that story. So I'm not going to post it here because I have enough going on right now, but it is on the community tab and it says, "This is brilliant. Please like, share, and subscribe," which is what I say about them all. But the title of the video is, oh, what the hell? I think I'll just share it now. Be so much easier for you guys. But anyway, you could either take the link from here or go to the community tab. But either way, it was brilliant. I mean to tell you, it's some good stuff out there. And I am just so proud of every squatty and especially the content creators that have been keeping us so informed. It is oh, you got it already. Oh wait, do you? Wait. Okay, wait. There we go. I'll do this one since I have it already. And okay, now I hope that's it. Let me click on it to make sure. Yes, that's Henry VIII. Okay, so you guys, when you're done with Royal Sussex, please go and watch that next. It is only like 14 minutes, 42 seconds long. It will explain everything about the connection or the parallels of Prince Harry and Princess Margaret. Yes, I loved it. I was like, yes. Okay, so that's it for today, you guys. Please take deep breaths. Keep the faith. Don't despair. Trust Harry's instincts. And of course, he's an honest person. We all know that Harry does not lie, no matter how painful, as evident by his situation. He has put a lot on the line to tell his truth, which is, to the best of his knowledge and ability, the truth. It is the truth. And I trust him, and I'm going to trust his instincts about everything. And I believe that this is going to work out very, very well for everybody involved. So good things are coming down the pike, and we are going to be here to show them love and support. I promise. All right. So thank you so much, guys. And thank you for all of the participation with your likes, shares, and comments. All of those things is what keeps this channel strong. Oh yes, Anita. I watched Anita. Yeah, and like a matter of fact, I mentioned that Anita was saying how all of this leaking and dripping and stuff has been problematic, but I'm trying to tune out as much of it as possible so that when I get the book, I can really enjoy it without all of the interference that's been coming out for the last 2 or 3 days. It has been a nightmare where that's concerned, but we'll get there. We'll get there, I promise. All right, you guys, thank you. And I am looking for a last comment of the day, which is um uh, uh, uh me see. Okay, that's it. John Garcia says, bye, Baron. Bye, fellow squatties. That works for me. Thank you so much, John Garcia. I will see you guys tomorrow. And I'm going to cue Ginger Avenger. And I guess I'll go make dinner, a late dinner. But always thank our queens, our queen of hearts and our queen of everything. Okay, you guys, cue Ginger Avenger. And don't forget, take those deep breaths, stretch, relax, close your eyes, and meditate. Harry does it. We'll do it too. And we'll get through this. Okay? All righty then. And cue Ginger Avenger.
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean? You don't get what?
I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
But are you talking about what you mean as royals or as, like, Kim Kardashian? Because for me, they're becoming celebrities.
Well, yeah, to me, that's all they are.
The Queen
is their celebrity.
For me, is brilliant.
I love the Queen.
No, for duty, responsibility.
She's always worked really hard,
But
hasn't
I would
she?
work hard if the whole country paid for me to have like 12 houses and work really hard.
They don't pay for all of the houses. But
Just a few. But